Oh god, what my voice is again? Guys, don't you feel something? This forest is contaminated by the dragon's poison. I see. That's why the Sandoras don't have a defense in this forest. A normal person cannot be exposed to this poison for a long time. It's a natural defense. Kibble, how's it going? How you doing? What's wrong? I feel a little bit dizzy, that's all. I guess it is hard for a woman. Oh, I am a woman too. You're special. Special, huh? Fine, I don't capitalize on a woman's frailty anyway. How you doing today, Kev? What'd you eat today? How was your weekend? I don't mean to do... Oh no. I'm okay. See? Rose is fine too. But I'm sorry. I need to go rest a little. Shayna. Doing okay? Still sick? Yeah, me too. Currently have a cough drop in my mouth at the moment. Prevent myself from coughing too much. Hope you're feeling better though. You only have work for another 30 minutes? That's good. What's the first thing you're gonna do when you leave work? You gonna pick up some food? Starting to get tired of coughing, don't I know it? I start coughing a lot. Like most of the day I'm okay. Maybe sometimes a little bit during the day I'll have some minor coughing fits, but like as it gets later on in the day I start coughing a lot. Are you alright? Uh-huh. Don't worry, I don't feel sick anymore. Besides, I think I'm used to the air in this place. Then, can you go with us? Sure. If I fall down here, there would be no meaning to me coming with you. Indeed, we can say the war is in our hands because the Kaisers cannot make a move. Shayna, please don't leave us like that. We don't know what awaits us. Sorry. Now, let's move on. Okay, but you gotta tell me what kind of food you're getting. Also, have you ever played Legend of Dragoon? Yeah, playing brother and sister. Yep, they're always like that. And today my lower back's been in pain all day too, unfortunately, ever since I woke up. I need to go back to the chiropractor. I think... Wait. It's a really good game. I would consider it in like the top games to get for the PlayStation 1. It still holds up fairly well.
Burning rush.
I think they usually, those physical barriers, I believe, last 3 turns or 3 hits. I probably should attack the other guy though, but I guess it doesn't make much of a difference.
Burning rush.
Yeah, well, these graphics are actually up-resed because this is the PS4 version I'm playing. Or they're at least cleaner models, definitely. Like, most definitely. And they did a pretty good job with it. Like, definitely still looks good, even for, you know, today's standards.
Burning rush.
At least when you put into consideration that's an old game. That came out in like 1999 or something like that. Let's see. Nah, I forgot I sold most of the stuff. I don't remember. I think maybe it's higher up. I don't think I fall into one of these yet. That's the one I fall into. I want to go over this way first. Spoilers, yeah, you fall into that. So what have you been playing lately? Just out of curiosity. Ah, darn it. Ah, man. Ah. Alright. That's good enough for him. He should go for a little further.
Whip smack.
Okay. You playing the one that just released? I assume? And how far are you into the Kingdom Hearts series? Garrick 6. Blazing Dynamo and Helena Prison. Damn, that's like your first visit? Well, come on in. But that's quite a grind. If that's what you're going for. Yeah. Isn't Blazing Dynamo's the last move, isn't it? Wonderland. Are you in the first Kingdom Hearts game? Garixix. Yeah, I think that. Right. Yeah, Garixis. I think that's how you should say it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, welcome in, but yeah, isn't Blazing Dynamo like the last move? Unless you mean your second visit to Helena. Hopefully that's not spoiler for you, but since you mentioned Blazing Dynamo, I would assume you know what you're talking about. Jesus Christ. 60 levels in Helena Prison? How many hours is that? Is there a reason? Like, I actually, this stream right here that I'm doing, I'm showing some of my friends how to basically, there are ways to very much make this game so much easier as it is without having to grind like that. 1600 hours, wow. But that's crazy. I mean, you grind to like level 7 with Dark in the original forest. By the time you get to the end of disc 1, I was telling one of my other friends on Friday? Was it Friday my last stream? Yeah, it was. I think it must have been no, Thursday. That by the time you probably get to the end of disc 1, you'll be like Dragoon level 3 or 4, just because you have Burning Rush, which gives you like 102 SP by the time you get your Dragoon level. And then once you get to Kazaz, grind some money with 0 parts, go back to Lohan and get some Legend Cask, and you're pretty much done. Like, you don't have to do anything else. Oh yeah, that's easy to do. Like, I think I did that for this run. Cause Dark takes a while before he learns the next move, if I remember right. I probably should have attacked with her. Her HP is fine. Lavitz, on the other hand, needs to just heal. Alright. Our Dragoon level 2 with Rose. How's it going, Michaela? Sounds like bad luck to me. I don't know what you're talking about. How are you doing today, Michaela? How was your stream? Besides the getting stuck with the marble and your soda. Burning Rush is at level 8 and crushed it. Yeah, it was 50. Exactly. Yeah, it's such a far like gap. I didn't remember the exact levels, but holy crap, that's so far away. But that's why by the time you get your first Dragoon level with Dark, yeah, by the end of disc 1, you could be essentially at Dragoon level 3 or 4. Since I'm gonna grind 0 parts for money, I'm pretty sure it'll be at least level Dragoon level 4 by the end of disc 1, which is insane already. Burnt out today, so got off early. Okay. I don't know what time you started. I think you ended stream, I assume based on your tweet, you ended stream around 7? Is that right? How was progress? Did you get to run into your favorite number 2 demon? The poopy demon? The poop demon.
Whip smack.
6:30? When for a little over 4 hours. Okay, so you started around 2. It was extremely busy at the retro game shop today, so I was not at all able to pay attention to anything. Oh, but speaking of, hold on. Guess what did come in for me today? Which I immediately grabbed. So I guess I don't, you don't need to worry about this anymore. There was no swap meet today, it was just a busy Sunday. Yep, it's the Wii U one. I've had the Switch version. I just wanted it for collection purposes. I only have like 5 or 6 Wii U games. Yeah. And for the Switch version, I have the Master Edition. What kind of games do you play, Grixis? I mean, aside from Legend of Dragoon, I would assume you play a lot of RPGs. I would have 10 Wii U games. Oh damn, this room. Good, you've come around. Yes, I think I'm fine. Yo, is that Akio? thanks for giving Grixis a shout out. Play RPGs and a lot of Assassin's Creed. Okay, for sure. That funny you mentioned that. Also, I picked up this today. I probably won't play it anytime soon, but I think I was missing this one in my series of Assassin's Creed games because I think I have even Odyssey. So the only one I don't have right now is Valhalla. But honestly, I haven't played anything past Black Flag. So and thank you for giving Keo a shout out as well. Just need Xenoblade Chronicles X to be ported on the Switch for my collection to be complete. Just get the Wii U version. I have the collector's edition of the Wii U version. There's a chance it could be ported because of how popular Xenoblade Chronicles is. The only problem is that it's not related. Currently platinum run for Assassin's Creed Rogue, nice. Just 100% of Black Flag, awesome. How are you doing today, Keo? What have you been up to? How was your weekend? How was everyone's weekend? What did everyone eat today if you got to eat today? Far Cry 4? Wow, that was terrible. You don't need a Wii U, just get it to have it. No one's gonna blame you if you're a Xenoblade fan and you just wanted the game and had the one Wii U game to not have an actual Wii U system. Where are we? In the nest of the dragon. Well, at least we don't need to look for a Firebrand anymore. Firebrand? Firebrand. I've always said Firebrand, it could be Firebrand. What confidence you have? Is that because you are a Dragoon? I guess. Guys, look at this. There's still pure water left in this forest. At least the entire forest is not spoiled. Let's go. If we defeat the monster, the forest will be saved. Crazy busy the last few days. Went to a party yesterday, went to NASA open house exhibit in LA, then saw a comedian in the Pantagus. Then afterwards, today I hung out with a buddy and was playing around with some chat GPT features. I don't even know what that is. Which comedian though? Margarita pizza and some salad and stuffed bell pepper. And it's stuffed bell pepper, but what was it stuffed with? Reminds you a lot of Chrono Cross. Tacos, but what kind of tacos? It's an AI language program that's been... Oh, that's right. Okay, that's what that is. Chrono Cross. There's not much time. Carne asada tacos. Nice. I like me some al pastor. I think Chrono Cross is a good game. But I'm pretty sure you've heard from a lot of people that either you like Chrono Cross more or you like Chrono Trigger more. You just tend to not like the other. Me, I think Chrono Cross is a good game. I don't like it as a sequel to Chrono Trigger. I probably shouldn't have done that. Let's see. Because I think those things are switches, which I totally just forgot. It's a fun game, it's a good game. The only reason why I don't like it as a sequel to Chrono Trigger is how different it is narratively. Otherwise, the music's great, the gameplay's fun. I get the feeling Michaela might not like gameplay as much because of the element system. Which, you know, is, I mean, every game has a lot of RPGs have element system, but it's more heavily focused when it comes to Chrono Cross. Yeah, isn't level 60 like the max?
Yes. Burning rush.
Yeah, absolutely. Formulate your own opinion. That's just what I think. Let's see. Oh, rice, tomatoes, beef, and cheese. Heck yeah. I know. I think I want to say that Legend of Dragoon was the first RPG I played where the max level wasn't 99. At least to my memory. Oops. Oh well.
Yes. Burning rush.
By the way, Garrix6, good, quick question for you. Or rather, I just want to say something of my own opinion with the game and what you thought about it. But personally, I was kind of disappointed with the way the Divine Dragoon looked for yourself. What's going on? There we go. Got it. When it's touched, it reacts with that. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look good, in my opinion. Yeah, right? So weird. I don't know what was the thought process on that one. It looked more like it should have been the look of if a bad guy was wearing it. Oh my god. Is the other one Legend of Legaia? Just the fact that he said Legend of... Yes! No, Legend of Legaia is one of my favorite PS1 games. More so than Legend of Dragoon. So my favorite PS1 games are Legend of Legaia, Alundra, Brave Fensu Musashi, Metal Gear Solid, and I would say Saga Frontier 2.
Yes. Burning rush.
I know! Yeah, where's Valko's at to join us on this conversation? It's too bad I didn't enjoy Legaia 2 Dual Saga as much. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah, it wasn't as good. I barely remember the story to Oh, I see why. Yeah, I barely remember the story to Legaia 2. I know you're like a star shaper, I think that's what it was, but I don't remember much after that. And Maya was mute for a while. I mean, it looked pretty. By the way, Michaela, since she gave Kyo a shout out, also give Kev a shout out. And if you remember Valkos' username off the top of your head, give him a shout out too, because if you because his favorite game also is Legend of Legaia. Oh, you did get Kev. I must have missed it. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's my bad. Terrible streamer, I know. Yeah. There you go, some more Chrono Cross. Sweet. I know. Trying. God.
Burning rush.
I also apologize if you hear, oops, the candy in my mouth. I have cough. I'm eating a cough drop to prevent myself from coughing too much. Oh, and also thank you for the follow, Graxis. Everyone's sick, huh? Yeah. Yeah, Legend of Gaia is one of those games I like to also. I play it on my Nvidia Shield. I mean, I have it on. I have the PS1 copy too, right over there. Actually, where is it right now? Did I put it in the PS1 section? I probably did, but it's readily available. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we go. It's so good, man.
Burning rush.
Did they release it on PSN during the PS3 classics? Or the PS2, PS1, PS2 classics for the PS3? Because if they did, I'm pretty sure I bought it, in which case I would get it for free if they ever released it on the PlayStation catalog. Or the new PlayStation catalog. I know I have Alundra, so if they ever release that. Ah, that sucks. I streamed a bit of it once back when I was streaming a little bit on Hitbox. How far did I make it during that stream? I at least made it to fighting the... I forget what their names are. The three that are basically like your main characters, but goofy. Yeah. I think I actually was playing it on my PS2 because I had a capture card back then. But I have it emulated for the Nvidia Shield for sure. Aren't you like 5 minutes away from being done with work though, Kev?
Yes. Burning rush.
I would like to know, what are you gonna get to eat? Knowing Jake, what's your favorite team to use? For Legend of Dragoon? What was my last ending team? I think it was Dart, Albert, and maybe Miranda? I can kind of use any team, but I like to have the defense. Wait, wrong way. Sorry. Kind of like to have the defensive with Albert, his Rose Storm. Is that what it was called? That's a yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes I actually would like to, or I like to use Dart, Hashio, and Meru too. Yeah, I mean a lot of the team combination works just fine. What about yours? Jake, I mean, because Caraxis just mentioned Dart, Albert, and Hashel. In this game so many times I intentionally used the worst places for a challenge. Congo and Miranda is a terrible matchup. Oh man. I hope you use him with the bandit shoes and bandit ring. Or at least with the bandit shoes. Honestly, you equip the bandit shoes with him and he's not too bad. He's not too slow. Or the bandit ring, but you know, why not put bandit shoes on him? Meru puts bandit shoes equals OP, yeah? That can happen. And so the last... Oh, so I'll say this to you guys, before the PS5, playing the PS5 version, the last time I played this was when it first released on the PSN, which is back when the PS3 was out. And then before that was the first time I played it, which was on the original PlayStation 1. And so I just beat it on PS5 and I'm just doing it again on PS4. So I probably have not beaten it as many times as you guys have, because I just mentioned it before the Graxis, but it's like maybe top 10 in PS1 games for me, but it's not top 5. But I definitely still recommend it to a lot of people. Like, it's, you know, one of the top recommended PS1 games for sure. Who is this? Is that you, Lavitz? It's so ironic to find you venturing here. You are Graham. Graham. Do you know him? I will never forget him. He used to be the head of the second knighthood of Basil. Graham. Did I say Basil or Basil? Just out of curiosity, because I was never sure. The man who used to be my father's best man. Basil. Okay. Welcome, Lavitz. You have become a knight fulfilling the wishes of your late father, Servi. Don't you ever mention my father's name. Are you still carrying that grudge after more than a dozen years for my betrayal of your father? That's not all. You betrayed King Albert. You betrayed every single person I know. I'm using a very similar voice, I apologize. Is that the wrath of a patriotic knight or a man full of vengeance? Both. Graham, I now get to avenge my father, who trusted and died in vain. Who trusted you and died in vain. Get revenge, huh? Try. See if you can truly beat me, the best me, and my newly obtained power. Emerge, the power of the dragon. You are a Dragoon? It shouldn't be a surprise. Only the Dragoons can manipulate dragons. Behind the dragon, there should be... A Dragoon? There should be. This is the power I obtained. Obtaining that power is not an easy matter. Where did you get the Dragoon spirit? I'm amazed there is someone in Basil who knows this. Fine, you too will know before you die. His Majesty Dole got his power and intelligence from Emperor Diaz. Is this some kind of dream? Emperor Diaz died 11,000 years ago, with the name of the Holy Emperor Gloriano. If this is a dream, how can you explain what you are about to see? I remember this guy being kind of annoying. Come, I give you a chance to avenge your father, if you have the courage to fight against the legendary Dragoon. By the way, try to, two of you know the deal here, but there are two other people in the chat who don't know the story, have never played the game. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Ah, heck, might as well. I don't mind talking about some things as long as there's no context, then people won't really retain the spoiler information. But don't go into too much details when we're chatting. See, who is it? I think it's better to get rid of the dragon first. Yeah, no, it's no big deal. Like I said, I was fine with our conversation because I know that the people in chat right now, Kev and Michaela, they're very unfamiliar with the game. So anything that we've mentioned is probably gonna go through one ear and out the other. They're not gonna retain the information. So that part of it is fine. Just not too much detail is all. It's so weird. It's the opposite for me now. When I was playing it for a PS5 version, I was able to always do darts full combo, but not roses. And I know that the speed is the same, but I don't know why I was having that problem. Now I'm having the opposite problem. But at least I'm more willing to use items now. I was hoarding items so much and always having to get rid of them and sell them in my last playthrough because I'm so used to hoarding. The PS5 version is an emulator version, and emulator there's always differences. Yeah, I mean like the speed between the characters when it comes to using the Dragoon attacks. Let's use... Not so much the speed difference between the PS1 original version and like the PS4, PS5 upgrade version. Yo, Steve, how's it going, man? How you doing today? How was your weekend? What did you eat? Or what did you eat today? I don't think we talked about it in chat, so. Good choice. It's got the defense. But I'll go ahead and use... Yeah, that's just that. Actually, everybody else is surprisingly doing well. Mostly just full of rain. Thank you for giving Steve a shout out. Yeah, I would ask to be able to stay as a Dragoon longer in battle. Only a couple of turns is kind of just a tease. Yeah, yeah. Even at max level, you're gonna get 5 turns. That kind of sucks. All right. I think that move sucks, if I remember right. Nope, no, that move's fine. Okay, we're good. Still good.
Whip smack.
I think it's the attack all magic one that's annoying, right?
Yes. Burning rush.
Burning Rush. What are your leftover snacks? Waffles and Japanese snacks. Okay. Yeah, you should eat some like real food.
Whip smack.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, waffles and Japanese snacks. I was just gonna think, I was thinking about it, I was like, wait, is that also what I ate? But no, I had instant ramen because we actually have water dispenser at the retro shop now, so I actually was able to just pick an instant ramen for lunch. And then I also had almond crusted Pockies, so technically I had Japanese snacks too. Ah. Too late to make real food. Yeah, Kev, you're just about leaving work now, right? What are you gonna pick up? Or wait until you're done when you get home to tell us about it, because I am curious. I work at a retro game shop. My buddy is the owner. I used to run an embroidery shop, but it caught fire back in August, so I'm working more at the retro game shop now. Before, I used to only work there once or twice a week. But because of my normal job not being available right now, I'm working there a lot more often. All these Pokemon snacks. What kind of Pokemon snacks? You know, I have some Pokemon gummies still. Yeah, the almond Pockies are really good. Yeah, it sucks, but you know, I just try to make the best out of it. I'm starting to, or I've been trying to. I haven't had enough time, as much time as I thought it would, like write scripts for podcasts or do some art. I have been talking to a few friends about the Christmas project I thought of, which I think I've mentioned to like Michaela and Steve before. Not gonna mention it on stream in case they ever stop by, the people I'm making the gifts for. Was there any update with the insurance for the shop? No. We're basically not getting any insurance. Because smoke damage only. I think my brother still needs to talk to the fire department to find the cause of the fire, which we still haven't found out yet. I think that's the problem. Is that we still haven't found out what the cause of the fire is yet. I don't know, the landlord hired like 3 different fire investigators to go in though, so I don't know, it's kind of weird. The thing about it is, if the cause of fire is due to like wiring, which is like from negligence of the landlord, then yeah, we might be able to do something in terms of, you know, getting insurance based on the landlord's insurance. But if that's not the cause of the fire, then we're basically screwed. Yeah, don't worry about it though.
Yes. Burning rush.
I got a deep gash. That's not the right voice. I know, right? see. Have some Rage candy bars, Swinub chocolate mochi, vanilla flavored Fucoco chips, Eevee Pikachu Piplup Gengar gummies, Spriggity. That's a lot of new ones too. At least the Pokemon are new or newer. Because the ones I have, like I have these freaking this Pokemon gummies. I think I bought them for like $2. But I appreciate the sympathy. It's all right though. Talking for months now about doing a GoFundMe. I don't know who's gonna start it. I'm almost considering just having the email up for donations, and then just putting the total number into the thing when we actually do the GoFundMe. But I don't know. Oh, gifts from your New York trip, so you gotta eat it all. Alright, for sure. You have served your strength. My efforts were to no avail. I even used betrayal to obtain this power. I still don't understand. Why did you betray my father? You were not like this. Nobody could be stronger than your father. That was the only thing I could never conquer. I had admiration for him, as a mate and as a friend. But time goes by and it turned into this feeling. This fear from realizing the limits of your ability. This fear that goes nowhere. The only thing you can do is curse yourself for weakness. But you couldn't overcome your fear by defecting to Dole. You needed to overcome my father. There was an alternative. If only I could obtain a new power, I could be equal to or surpass him. That was the Dragoon spirit I got from His Majesty Dole. Lavitz, live strong. Now I can go to be with Survey. He is lucky to be dead now. Greed for power eventually conquers you. Unleashed power generates only sorrow. He should have known that. He was lucky to die now and avoid even more sorrow. What? What is this? Such a coincidence. It can't be. Or is this fate? Lavitz, maybe you too are. Dart is right. The Dragoon spirit of the Jade Dragon recognized you as the next master. I am a Dragoon? I deserve to rule dragons? Not only do you deserve, but you have an obligation to accept your fate as a Dragoon, don't you? It's what Graham left for me. I understand. I accept it. The fate of a Dragoon. I will use this power for justice. Like Dart and Rose. Use for justice, huh? Or use for justice, huh? Right. Good for you, Lavitz. Ah. Shayna! I can't breathe. Too much poison? We can't make it over Velude carrying Shayna. Then we have to go to Lohan. Lohan, that commercial town? Yes, that's it. I heard there's a great doctor there. Hurry. Okay, sorry. Let's see here. If you start a GoFundMe, I would donate around 100. I know it's not much in the grand scheme of things, but I'd love to at least help. Oh, that would be great. I don't know when it would happen though, because it's been talking about it for months. But that would be very much appreciated, Garexis. Let's see, how's the game? Very PS1 looking. Well, about my fourth time playing through it. Still a very, very good game. Very much recommended if you're looking to ever play any of the older RPG games, or if you're just looking to play any JRPG games in general. Let's see, nacho fries. Heck yeah. They have a new version, I think, at Taco Bell that's only, I think you can only order it through the app. I tried it once. I think it's the Yellowbird nacho fries, if I believe that's what it was called. I'm gonna check right now. I think the last time I tried to order it though, they ran out of the Yellowbird sauce, so they offered Chipotle sauce instead, which I like the Chipotle sauce, so I was like, yeah, dude, I'm all for it. See, yep, and there is one in the deluxe cravings box, but I don't think it doesn't look like they have the Yellowbird one anymore. I never actually got to try that one, which is, I guess that's fine. It's no big deal. Let's see. Craving box with one in it. This whole situation is a lot more interesting knowing the Dragoon spirits literally choose who get them. The Jade Dragon chose Grim even though he was a scumbag. I know! It's so weird with the choices for the, like, so even back when I was younger, I used to always think, is there going to be more to the dragons? Because some of the choices for who they choose to be their master kind of aren't, you know, very high moral people, you know? Now I want some damn Taco Bell. Maybe different menu versions. No, I mean, it was there before. It's not there anymore. So, and I don't know if you ever had their chicken wings. They're just okay. But at least there's that. I mean, there's nothing all that appealing about the nacho fries, Michaela. It's just, you know, like very crispy, hot, fresh fried fries with like their special dust seasoning and fresh melted cheese to dip into, right? And, I mean, what is that? It's nothing. It's nothing. Who really wants that piping hot, soft potato, like just melting in your mouth, you know? Get a sip of my drink here. What a crowd, and we're in the middle of a war. It's true. If I were fine, it would be fun. You'll get well soon. Yeah, some sauce. You know, sauce is okay. Just perfectly like seasoned, creamy sauce. I couldn't believe it was the dragon's poison until I saw it with my own eyes. I have never seen such symptoms. There is nothing wrong with the body, at least that's how it seems, but her consciousness has closed inward after she arrived here. It seems the mind is poisoned, not the body. I don't think the clinic can help her. I'm sorry, but in this condition, it could be a week if she is lucky. Can't you do something? I'll do everything I can. What was such a cute girl doing with the legendary monster? She fought against it to save the country. Think hard. Is there anything you can do? Hold on. If we can get some Dragoon plant, she may survive. Really? I read it in a secret heirloom book. The problem is, as with dragons, Dragoon plant exists only in legend. I cannot say for sure if it really exists. Even so, we cannot wait like this, doing nothing. Having like terrible moments where I can't read properly. Let's go look for Dragoni plant on our own. We at least might be able to find something in this town. Lohan is a commercial town where everybody is welcome. There should be some information here. Although it is temporary, I will try to staunch the poisoning. I am not called the best doctor in Serdio for nothing. I will rise to the occasion. Got that? Wow. Cheesy gordita crunch. Like that's some extra, juicy meat and some crispy lettuce maybe in there, some savory tomatoes. I'm not sure, and then just that added unnecessary, very like delicate crunch that you add to your tacos. Oh, what is that? Nothing. Come on, I'm trying to help you out, making sure it's I'm trying to reassure you it's nothing special. You're not supposed to get more hungry. Oh yeah, I checked the list of Stardust here because I really am. I can't remember all the Stardust locations. That it's a bullshit, but. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Ah, okay. I'm pretty sure none of the Stardust are missable, but I like to grab them as I go through the game, as opposed to having to backtrack to find them. It's just easier to get them out of the way. Just my opinion, though. But yeah, none of them are missable. Where the heck am I? Oh, there I am. Do I need to use the inn at all? Ah, yeah, okay. It's fine. Have more than enough money once I get to Kazaz. Have you played the this version, by the way, Gorexis? Or is there a would you just prefer if I called you Gary, or well, how would you like your name to be pronounced? Okay. Oh, so that's an auto-raid. So it's an auto-generate name. Okay, Gary. Gary it is. Easier for me, too. Oh, what the heck? I don't remember my way around this place. Oh, right. Flower Storm? Yeah, that sounds about right for the last one. Not where I want to go. I didn't know that there was a rewind feature in the game. That was really cool, but don't really need to use it. But I assume since you know so much about the game already that you don't need to know that the advantages of having the rewind feature. Okay, I think this is where I want to go. There you go, that's one. Save money and finally open up a bookstore. Like you wouldn't use it, Michaela. I mean, you don't really need to, but if it's stuff for like trying to grind the 0-0 parts or something, it's really useful. Let's see. I think the boss is in the next area. Yeah, I don't think it's this area. I don't really care about it when it comes to additions. I did mention though that if you rewind into like midway into addition where you messed up, it's just gonna be harder. You might as well just start from the beginning again. This is this room right here. But this is this place. Does rewinding to before then? No. Oh, do you not know? Okay. So to control loot drops in the game, I was actually explaining this to Chaos in the last stream. Your actions will change. I will wait to get to a battle before I explain how that works. Welcome. Hey, the boss. The boss. I like to call him the boss. It's the goofy merchant from the other day. I'm glad you folks are here. Thanks for the loot. Really, now I can run my business. So, what do you want? You can find anything in the boss's antique. Do you carry herbs too? You got it. I have everything, from extremely rare medicine to secret magical medicine. Have you heard of the Dragoni plant? I heard it is a very rare herb. Oh, the Dragoni plant. You have it? No. The boss. Oh no, don't get mad. I was just kidding. But let me think harder. I remember hearing about it somewhere. Hold on a sec. Well, in the secret notebook, yes, it's in here. It says, north of the poison forest, past the troublesome plant. Observe Dragoni plant, in the back of the shrine. It reminds me, I saw a strange plant in the back of the forest when Shayna took a rest. Oh, the one that became a monster because of the dragon's poison. But you cannot get past it unless you purify it with something. How about the spring water underground? That might help the plant. That's it. Thanks, the boss. Hey, what about shopping? That's all? No, we gotta come back for the Stardust. How do you... Ah, right here. Oh. Oh, wait. So how the loot works in the game is there's a set path every action you do. It's a sort of RNG. If you've ever played XCOM, like Enemy Unknown or something like that, it's similar in that sense where every move, once you make a move, there's a set pattern or a set event of things that will happen right afterwards. But the way you do things will change that. For instance, your RNG basically changes. Like for instance, if you complete an addition, like if your addition is like 4 moves long, if you complete only 2 of those additions, then the events that follow afterwards will change. If you do 3 parts of the additions, then everything else will change. If you completely complete the addition, all the events after will change, and that includes how loot works as well. Actually, is it the suit of armor? Yeah, I did. Okay. Exactly. So the best way to do it if you want to control loot, honestly, if you're not as familiar, I'll tell you right now. Once you get to the Kazas, which I think is the city that you're gonna go to after Lohan, you're gonna want to find 00 parts, and that's the best way to grind for money because and that's also when you're gonna be using the rewind feature for a little bit of it. You don't need so much the loot it drops, but to keep it in battle and to kill it so you can get the money. And then once you have that, once you get enough money, you go back to this city here. And I think there's a shop upstairs. Let's see. I think it's this shop. Yep, this right here. This is all you need. You can have it on one person, but if you want to grind enough money to get it for 3 people, I don't recommend trying to grind till you get it for like every single party member. Just whoever's in your party. You get this early enough, you'll breeze through the game. Because the thing that this doesn't say, and I was gonna mention it to Chaos too when he's here. I'll probably explain it again if he stops by. It says reduces damage due to magical attacks. What it doesn't tell you is that it also gives you 50% evasion, or like a really high amount of evasion. So even without the reduced attack, your magic attacks will miss you most of the time. So if you buy that for all 3 of your characters, the more closer to the beginning of the game will be a little bit tougher because there's not that many like enemies or bosses that focus on magic. But definitely like the last half of the game will be completely easy because most of the later enemies will use a lot of magic and they'll miss like crazy. Yeah. You get that and you're basically like done with the game. So like, I don't, if you want to control loot to try to get better weapons, but if you get legend casks for all your characters, don't even worry about trying to get like good loot. Because some of the like boss loots can be so annoying to try to get. Because I think they only have like a 20% drop, if not less. It could be a 2% drop for some of them. Let's see. Okay, I got that one. I got that one. Oh, thanks. So you go to the right, not go up the stairs. Oh yeah, this dude. Hey you, hey classy brother, I have something you'll like. That reminds me, we need something to carry the spring water. Let's have a look. I'm trying to remember how much you can bargain this guy down to. It's like insane. That's my man. You have a sharp eye. I guarantee they are good buys. I want a bottle to put water in. Do you have one? Sure. This one's durable and the best quality you can get. How much? Heh. Surprise, it's a super bargain. How about... Yeah, not that much. Let's look somewhere else. Hey, wait a minute. I was just kidding. Don't take me so seriously. How much is the real price then? Yeah, it's about 3,000 G. Why don't you buy it? Nope. Too expensive. Well, I'll give you a discount. How about 2,200 G? Still too much. I vaguely remember how much you can get them down to, but I can't. Well, not 100% sure. It's still too much. 1,000 G. I think you can still get less than that. Can't you do better than that? 500. Drop it once more. How about 100 Gs? I don't know if he goes lower than that. I can't remember, but I think 100 is how far he goes down to. I'll take it. Yep, thanks. Acquired water bottle. Now we are ready. Hehe, thanks. He might go down lower, but I don't remember. Oh, thank you for redeeming. Oh, thank you for the bits, Kev. What am I missing here? Heat alligator? Alright. Thank you for redeeming the hydrate, Steve. Okay, so we got the water bottle. Oh, Stardust. There's 2 more in here. Chipmunks for sale. Is it in this box? No, that's his chest. My bad. In the basket. There we go. Okay. I think... No. Is it up here? Yep. Okay. I think that should be all of it. Okay. Oh, okay, back over here. Do we make it to Kazas first, or... I guess I'll find out. I think, can I just run around that? Hold on. I think I might just be able to run around that. Alright. But now that the weekend is over, what's everyone's plan, like, beginning of the week like? Okay, there we go. I can't just go around. Actually Sunday, Monday, so I'm on my weekend right now. Nice. Yeah, no, I think it 100G. Yeah, I think I probably could have gone down more. I just can't remember. But that's fine. I have more than enough money for it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think his laugh at the end was supposed to hint that he can go down lower, but it's okay. Which is crazy because he starts off at 3,000. See, your GameStop pre-orders almost ready. Which one? Are we talking about? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Gotta respond to a message. I just remembered. pretty cool, yeah. Let's see here. See, my week is slow overall. My days off are tomorrow and Tuesday, so I'll probably just hang out and paint. So I'll do my first toy card show next weekend and then going back to the city again for Zelda. When you say you're doing your first show, do you mean like as a vendor? Or do you mean like going to your first one? Because I can't imagine that's your first one. I could be wrong. And yeah, working at working at the particular store I've worked at is great. Ooh, as a vendor, nice. What kind of stuff are you gonna have for sale? Like your woodworking stuff? The plan is blocking the way. We cannot go further unless we do something about it. Oh, right. Oh my god, I was supposed to go get the spring water. I'm an idiot. I mean, it's pretty cool seeing like some of the products that come in. We're actually expanding, like I've talked about it before, but we used to. So it's one building that's 2 stories, and the first story is a barcade, which is, you know, a bar where you can get like some decent, okay. Nah, I wouldn't even call it okay. I guess just okay food, but very overpriced, you know. But your main reason for going there is drinking and to play arcade games or the pinball games that are there. So that's the first story, and then the second story is the retro game shop. But before we used to only have like a corner of the whole floor, because the other part of it was a gaming lounge, where you could also order food from downstairs. They'll bring it up to you. But you could rent out one of the TVs to play whatever game system that they have available, anywhere from like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, PS2, also to like PS4, PS5, Switch, and then there was also a LAN center, and I think every week, one day was devoted to Magic tournaments, the other day was devoted to D&D sessions, and then sometimes there will be like video games, like fighting tournaments held. The problem with them though is that a lot of they used to be in a location in downtown San Jose, and they were thriving there, but I guess the previous landlord wanted it back to start his own restaurant because of how busy it was. And so when they moved over there, just having it be upstairs was very bad for their business. So they didn't get anywhere near as much business, and eventually the owner, he actually was partnered with another business that opened up that was very similar to the same thing. And so this one eventually, actually just last month, shut down, and they merged with the other business in downtown San Jose. And so now the game store is going to be expanding throughout the whole floor. There's a lot that has happened. Mostly selling toys, plush, cards, and games for now, with some of my wood art on the side, and just making a list of what people may want made. Going to use profits, I get to invest in more. Cool! That sounds great. I was also like the back LAN center that, because that's going. We're talking about like maybe using it for private movie like viewings, like have a projector set up there. Obviously, possibly private parties, maybe some game parties. I did mention though that maybe setting up a PC back there, and then we can do like a podcast too for the store. Yeah, that's the first store, not the current one. The current one just kind of died because of it being on the second floor, not creating enough traffic. But yes, the first location in downtown San Jose, that's what happened. And that one was because it had its own restaurant. Whereas this one, because there'd be a conflict of interest, I guess, to have bar and food downstairs and bar and food upstairs. So they had to have create a partnership. type of deal where you order the food upstairs and then they'll go downstairs to get the food and bring it up to, you know, whoever has the station rented. Let's hope for the best with this water. According to the boss, we have to get rid of that plant in order to get to the shrine with Dragoni plants. Come on, let's go. And I think, yeah. And then that place too had like a decent cook, the first one, I mean. Whereas the new one, they have good bartenders, from what I know. But the food was kind of very just okay. And overpriced. And I think when the landlord, for the first location, when the landlord took it over, he didn't keep it the same because obviously that's their business model. He just turned it into a basic restaurant. Yeah, well, okay, the food's decent. Like, it's, you know, for how much you pay for it, you can definitely get better food, is what I should say. Like, I used to order from it too because I used to get employee discount for the food as well. It's usually a lot of food, and sometimes they do get my order wrong. That's the problem, because there's certain things I can't eat. And so when they forget that and leave it in, then I actually can't eat. Yeah, I think we've already talked to. We had just like a cookie bar, 2 stores down from us, and we actually, my friend spoke to them, and they're gonna actually do like cakes when there's like birthday parties for us, and then they're gonna do our own, like, the mascot that we have, the cookies, the sugar cookies that look like, you know, the mascot. Yeah, it's not so much allergies in my case, it's certain foods I can't chew, like green onions I can't chew on, and bean sprouts, because if I chew on it too many times it makes me gag and I'll throw up. And so I definitely cannot have it. When I say I can't have it, I can't have it. Dragoon level 3 already. Look at that. But you understand. It's the same. It's the same thing though. Like, if people are allergic to it and you ask to not have it because you're allergic to it, so it's the same reasoning. So how far into the game are you? The beginning. This game is 4 discs, and I'm still in maybe 2/3 into disc 1. The plant is wilting. We can go now. Maybe I think I might be 2/3 into disc 1. You hate vegetables because they make you gag. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, we're going to the shrine right now. I thought we were closer to Kazas than we actually are. Dang shrine. You lost. Okay, yeah. I think none of the treasure chests have anything in them, if I remember right. That is. What's up? A sculpture of a dragon? Dragon. I hope nothing bad will happen. Take out your dragoon spirits. They are resonating together. It means there's a dragoon in there? It means there's a dragoon in there? Go see it with your own eyes. Let's move on. I mean, Final Fantasy VII was 3 discs. Uh, I'll be right back. I use the bathroom. Alright, back. Oh, messed up my wrist. No break command, sorry. Still need to finish that game. I got lost somewhere again on this too. Have name changes or are they for Legend of Dragoon? No, you can't change the names. There's some hints for one of the passwords for area. Super obscure that I've never met anyone else who has played it. It was called Summoner on PS2. I'm familiar with it. There was 2 games for it, right? Summoner and Summoner 2, I think. I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm familiar with it. I don't know it too well, but I do know of it, and I played of it just a little bit though. I didn't play too much of it. Yo, Mystic, how's it going? Welcome on in. How was your weekend, man? Or person? No, if I custom name my characters, I have certain things I do. I usually name them after original characters I've created. But Rose is not the main female character though. I mean she is, but she's not the quote unquote lead heroine. Go home. Oh, that's the thing. Okay. Let's see if I remember my way through here. Oh, well, alright, we'll just go up this stair then. I was trying to go straight, but it's all good. That works out. Yeah, exactly. Gary knows what's up. Don't say it. Don't need to say anything about Rose.
Yes. Burning rush.
You have quite the library here. Do you play Dark Cloud at all, Gary? Or did you play Dark Cloud at all? Or Rogue Galaxy for the PS2? My PS2 library is pretty extensive. I mean, it's probably not the biggest in the world, but it's pretty expensive. Pretty expensive. Okay, you like Dark Cloud 1 and 2 and Rogue Galaxy. So you basically like level 5.
Yes. Burning rush.
Go. You have an amazing stream and everyone else. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for stopping by, Kev. Have a great night. You can give Kevin a shout out. What's it doing? Oh, right. Right over here. And also thank you for cheering the bits. Very much appreciated, Kev. Statue facing front. Wait, do I need to do something over here? I feel like I do. Oh, wait. You get to see another good looking guy in the afterlife? I mean, what makes you so sure you'll see a good looking guy in the afterlife?
Yes. Burning rush.
I mean, are you trying to say that you're guaranteed to see Zack, or I don't know what you're trying to say there? I don't know. I mean, you being you, though, Michaela, are you sure you'll be seeing Zack in the afterlife? I mean, you might be seeing Don Corneo. Let's get some health back with these guys and gals. Honeybee and gave me nightmares, yeah. Oh.
Yes. Burning rush.
Another super obscure one to try and challenge me. Okay, for sure. I'm not gonna try to say I'm not, making the claim I'm like the #1 RPG guy or anything like that. I've just played a lot. Okay, not this way. They made that wrong on purpose. Okay. What is this? There are 3 rotary plates, all with numbers from 1 to 5. It seems like a kind of apparatus with a numerical lock. You try, Dart. The first number is, I wonder... I'm pretty sure I don't remember this off the top of my head, but I'm gonna try 312. Was only on PC. It was called Wizards and Warriors, the first person point and click RPG that came out in 2000. Well, I am not too familiar with point and click games. Wizards and Warriors, I know the title, but I have otherwise never played it. Nope, not 312. Yes, it must be wrong. Unless we use the correct numbers. I really don't want to explore, so I'll just guess a few numbers here. You know what? Postal link is completely safe, just to link to good old... Oh, GOG, sure. Actually, well, I don't know whether they have any kind of bot set up for it, to be honest. Point and click. You mostly remember point and click adventures. Usually when it comes to point and clicks, the only ones I really remember are like horror games. Let's take a look here. Continue. Yeah, like I've seen the game. I've never played it. That's because I didn't play too many PC games. I was actually talking about this the other day. I have terrible luck when it comes to PC games. It's probably fine. Well, I would say probably fine now because I have a new PC which I haven't set up yet. It's not super new, but I did get it for free, so no complaints on my end. But I've had terrible luck when it comes to PC games. Like the first PC game I got was actually Diablo 1 and Warcraft 2. And also Command and Conquer Red Alert. And eventually, those games would eventually crash any PC I played them on. Probably because the specs weren't good enough. But, yeah. Old games tend to run absolutely horrible or run not at all on modern computers. Yeah, but these weren't modern. These were older computers because like the first computer I had that I played Diablo and Warcraft 2. I feel like there's an well, I remember playing Heretic on it too, and I talked about that. But the installs were on like floppy disks with that one. Um, but like I would get so far into the game, and then eventually every time I tried to boot it, it would just crash the computer. But I don't remember what kind of computer it was, but at like about maybe 10 years ago, I did dig it out and turn it on to see how much space was on it, and it was a 500 megabyte computer. There, cool, great. I knew it was 3 something too, so I was pretty close. This is front. Yeah, no, it's old. It's old, yeah. Um, I mean, we had it in the 90s, but we were poor. Like, the first year I was born, my parents just made it to the US. Like, they made it to the US in 1985, and that's the same year I was born, so we were poor. I don't know, I don't remember. I know front for the gold one because we were there a bit ago. Doo-doo.
Whip smack.
I was born and lived here all my life, and I'm still poor. I mean, I guess it's relative, though, right? When we say we're poor, like I would consider myself broke right now, but I wouldn't consider myself like poor like I was when I was young. Get some HP back for her. Actually, get some HP back for Lavitz too. We could probably do it once for a dart. I think she's fine.
Whip smack. Yes. Burning rush.
Do one more for him. Keep releasing games the way they do. You just gotta very much curate what you want to buy and release. That's what I do. Like, if I see a game, like if there's no collector's edition for it or something, more like 4 or 5 times I'll wait on it. Jedi Survivor for 70 plus tax was 80 is a bulky mess that runs under. Oh, you got it for PC, didn't you? That's what I've heard. Like a lot of things about that. I don't think this is Yep, same thing. What a merry guy you are. Alright. There's no reason to try to get any of these. I hear that you could get refund at least on Steam, at least no problem, so that's good. It's only on the PC version though, right? I've heard pretty much good things on console versions, outside of, you know, the game just only having basically the intro of the game and then you having to download the rest of it. PC versions, for the most part, I hear Xbox is fine. Oh, really? So PS5 version too, huh? Who is it that has it for, I know Jared got it. Did Jared, what system did Jared get it for? You can get a refund only on Steam if you played under 2 hours. Yeah, I heard about that. Is it 2 hours? I thought it was like 4.
Burning rush.
Most likely PC, yeah. I wonder what he thinks right now. Well, I haven't seen him complaining, but he might just be avoiding complaining. Dang, that's a lot of HP against Rose. He's fine, but I want Rose to regain more HP. I think we need laws to protect gamers from unfinished games. There does need to be some kind of issue with that, but I can also understand why it's gaming is the way it is, or video games development is the way it is. One of these days, I mean, it's gonna be like if I ever get around to doing these podcasts, it's gonna be like one of the longer episodes because there's so much to talk about when it comes to the pricing of video games and how much we're very much underpaying for video games, and so developers are pretty much trying to find every bag of tricks they can to just milk money out because we're not paying enough for video games. But I do, like, of course I don't agree with games being like released unpolished and all that. I actually forgot about this guy. It's amazing you made it through the traps, but your luck is over, because I won't let you go further. Come on, draw your sword. Wait, we're just here to look for the Dragoon plant. We don't want to fight. You want me to believe that? You must be after the treasure, aren't you? That's not it. It's quicker to beat him. You thieves! Now you reveal your true selves. Prepare yourselves. I completely forgot about this guy. It's awful. But it's on par with the voice acting in the cutscenes for this game, so I won't say anything. Wait, did I do special? Oh, I did do special. I didn't realize that was an option. Russell's got to have the coolest Dragoon transformation. I don't know. I don't know if it's the coolest. It might be the steamiest. I kind of like all of the transformations. Thinking about it. I'll show you one of my best traps. And he says that a few times too. Oh god, this thing. I was trying to remember what his traps were. I think he has two different ones if I remember right. Okay. Oh, you know what? What kind of magic do I have with Dart? Is it an attack all? I don't remember. Yeah, when you do the special transformation, the color of the background changes. And or the whole background changes depending on which you do the special with. The special transformation with. And there it goes. Final burst. Oh, it's a single. Let's do the explosion and see if that does enough damage for all the bombs. I actually remember the first time we picked up this game though back then. I remember being so excited for it. And it was definitely a great game too, so it was worth the excitement. But we didn't have like the physical copy, or we did, but it was back during the time when we couldn't actually afford it, so we would actually rent it from Blockbuster, and we would burn the games. Before I was actually able to get a physical copy of the game. Ah, now I don't have enough MP for it. Dumb. Alright, that's fine. Let's do a regular attack. Modded PS2 to play burn games. Yeah, we had a modded PS1. The PS1 was the first system I actually owned, like, because I started with the NES, and I did have, I did play on the Atari at my brother's friend's place, but the NES was borrowed from my brother's friend. Super Nintendo was borrowed from my brother's friend. We actually had the Sega Genesis that was also borrowed from brother's friend. So, the first console I actually owned was the PS1, and my parents got it for me as a Christmas gift. Try this trap. What was the trick to this trap? I have to attack the wire? I think I do. But I should defend with Rose because it's close to halfway. First console was GameCube. Very nice. What game did you get with it? When I got the GameCube, I remember that was when I got the Zelda collection, the Legend of Zelda collection, or collector's edition that came with was it Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time? And then the next game I got after that, I think, was actually Tales of Symphonia. God dang it, I just got rid of it. Put out another trap. Son of a bee. At least I'm getting to practice with my additions. Yeah, since Dart is already level 3 Dragoon, he's definitely going to be level 4 Dragoon by the end of Disc 1. Oh, surprisingly did even less damage with Dart. Jeez. Spiral into the Dragonfly in Luigi's Mansion. Nice. I wasn't a big fan of Spiral. Oh, crap. It's me talking and trying to play. I wasn't a big fan of Spiral. That was actually one of the first games I got from my PlayStation 1. I remember getting Spiral, Ape Escape, and what other game was there? Was it Crash? Maybe it was one of the Crash games. And I remember the first game I tried was Spiral because, you know, Asian dragons. Wow, cool, right? And I remember I wasn't as into it as I thought I would be. Let's see. Yeah. And then I tried Crash. I also wasn't as into it as I thought it would be either. I did play a bit of it, but then I got I actually moved to Ape Escape, which I thought would be the one I wouldn't enjoy as much, and I freaking loved Ape Escape. But because I wasn't familiar with memory cards, I went so far into the game, and I couldn't save, and just never returned to the game after that. First game you ever touched was MK2. I assume you mean... Are you talking about Mario Kart 2 or Mortal Kombat 2? Patrick Kazoo and a few other games. Later on I got Zelda games and Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Oh, I was gonna say... when I got the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition that came with the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, that was when I realized I didn't like Ocarina of Time that much. So I played Ocarina of Time on the N64 at my cousin's place and remember beating it. And so I was excited to, you know, get the game and actually have it again and be on the GameCube. And I remember playing it and I was just like, man, the controls kind of suck. And this was, you know, this wasn't like, you know, 10 years ago. This was way longer than that. This was a 2000. Let's see. I'm trying to remember when. I think I was in high school, so this was probably like 2002. Must have been around 2002. Yeah, oh, I love Majora's Mask, but man, the time loop mechanics suck. But I love Majora's Mask. I also have the Majora's Mask 3DS. Oh, damn it. Didn't play Mario Kart or Mario 64 until I was like 12. By the way, also I'm not a huge fan of Mario 64. Not that I think it's bad, I just don't like it as much as most people do. Let's Dragoon you back up too, Lavitz. Me thinking it was Ocarina of Time. I think we've talked about this before. Oh man, if that was your first Legend of Zelda, I can't even imagine what your thought process was. Wing Blaster, Wind Strength. Probably should have used that before. Especially when you realize the canon ending to Ocarina is that Link becomes depressed, gets lost in Lost Woods when his fairy abandons him, gets stuck with the whole deal in Termina and the moon, and then dies and turns to Stalfos. Yeah. Well, I think part of that's theory, right? That's part of a read between the lines. Michaela has not played it, by the way. Not that I think she would remember all of that, because she still needs to play. She still has not even gone very far with Ocarina of Time. Oh, it's in the Hyrule Historia. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. Speaking of time loops, have you ever played, since we're talking about obscure RPGs, have you ever played Ephemeral Fantasia? Twilight Princess, I like. Honestly, my favorite though is A Link to the Past. Did not play Ocarina of Time until the end of middle school. That's actually about the same time I played, or at least I was at the same age when I played Ocarina of Time. I was in middle school too. Ephemeral Fantasia is what it's called. That's another obscure RPG. And it also implements a time loop type mechanic similar to Ocarina of Time. Although I would say not as annoying, but it's still a tedious game. Shoot. Of course you have to do all that right after I lost the Dragoon. It's Ephemeral Fantasia. Let's see here. Fantasia. That's how you spell it. July 9, 2001 on PS2. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I would still say it's a good story, in my opinion. And at least it doesn't end your time loop the same way as Majora's Mask does. Ooh, Labbits, you are going to have to... you know what? I'll just use the breeze. Make things easier here. I actually use items in this playthrough. I'm so stingy with freaking using items. But we're gonna get them replaced anyways. It's fine. This game gives you a lot of items and not enough gear. You have to buy a lot of the gear. Do you or Dick know Hyrule Historia? Good question. I think I actually have Hyrule Historia. I just never actually looked through it. I have the Link to the Past comic book, but not the comic book, like the actual compilation of them all. Oh, wow, I'm an idiot. I miscounted. Remember the guy the items had funny names like Healing Leaf? Yeah, I remember that. Absolutely. What's the music again? You know that music, right? I can probably transform with Dart now, too. Yeah, this guy's kind of annoying. I think he might be in the red right now, so maybe I should just concentrate on attacking him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that one, personally. Come on, let's get you over and done with here, before all those bombs move forward more. Ah! Uh-oh. Ah, you son of a bee. Alright, I'm gonna get the one nearest to... probably should get the one near Rose, actually. Ah, that should be enough damage. Oh, it's not enough damage. Oh, there goes. Hopefully she survives. Okay, she survived. Oh my god. Alright, hopefully he survives. I think he should. Okay. Do the bombs do physical or magic? I think it does physical, actually. Let's see. Nah, I'm not gonna Dragoon with them yet. They need books like that for Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I gotta link you to that Word doc of Kingdom Hearts when you get further into the games, to the series. It explains it in a simple, but it's funny, in a very simple way, but it's funny because of how simplified it is. Oh, nope. Birth by Sleep is the best one, though, in my opinion.
Burning rush.
Kingdom Hearts has special edition products like that, but are hundreds. Yeah, sounds about right. Let's see. I should transform with Lavitz. He does have the magic at least. Let's see. Let me get rid of the wire.
Burning rush.
Lavitz does have a hit all. Not sure if it's enough to get rid of the bombs. His magic is crap, so. Oh my freaking leg. The past 3 years for $400. Is it sealed though? That makes a difference. And then is it the Kingdom Hearts 2 strategy guide with the 3 different drive images? Sweet. Good job, Labbits. Okay, that makes a huge difference for it to be sealed. There we go. About dang time. Well, at least, oh yeah, a new dish. Freaking, he gets his edition so quickly. It's like some big kind of box set with many keyblades. Okay, that's not the KH2 version then. I have to protect Shirley or... Gust of Wind Dance, the hardest one to do in the game. Drake, it's okay now. People with Dragoon spirits, why are you disturbing my quiet moment? What are you? We are not here for that. We are here to save our friend's life. Life of your friend? Do you remember me? You are... Rose, aren't you? Oh, I understand. You have been on your sad journey since then. You too, Shirley. Won't you spare me some Dragoni plant? Shayna is suffering from dragon's poison. Can't read. Dragon? Oh, they are still clinging to life. Unfortunately, I don't have any Dragoni plant. Hold on one sec. I always gotta reawaken my computer. Laptop. Then, what about Shayna? There is one way to save her. I'll try anything. Just tell me. Dragoon Spirit? A dragon's poison can be removed with the Dragoon Spirit of a white silver dragon, which is filled with healing magic. Now, I will challenge you to see if you deserve this Dragoon Spirit. Shall we begin? Try to overcome me. If you cannot do it, the girl's fate is to die. Time to regain some health here. Darts, Slavitz, why do you fight? Protect those we love. Dart, bear your heart to me. Sorry. I like how she floats up to you looking like she wants a hug, even though she's challenging you to a battle. Since it's almost 3 a.m., I'm going to start heading to bed. Yeah, Steve. Thanks for hanging out, man. I mean, I know you're only here because Michaela's here, but it's all good, too. She draws everyone to chat. Dart, I have been waiting. Why did you leave me without saying a word? To pursue the Black Monster. The Black Monster? I was here before she was, not true. Yeah, but you probably were expecting her to show up. I'm teasing you though, man. Thank you for stopping by. Hope your food was good. Even though you were just eating snacks. Dart, what are you going to do after you find the Black Monster? Of course, get revenge. No, I don't know yet. I think. I knew it. You were always like that, Dart. You always rush off without thinking about others or the consequences. You won't be able to make it like that. I think I was supposed to say for revenge, huh? I saw you better, however I cannot give you my spirit. You lost control. Think it over again. Yeah, okay, my bad. Oh. I'll do that. A black monster. Do you play anything outside of RPGs, Gary? I do want to stream the Metal Gear series too. So, of course, get revenge. Revenge? Yeah, duh. Yes, fantastic. I want to stream the Metal Gear series. I'm still waiting to see whether they're gonna release it on the PlayStation Classics, but if anything, I'll stream. I'm thinking about maybe doing it somewhere around August. Please forget about revenge and be with me, the Black Master and me, Dart. Shayna, heck yeah. Really? Dart, I'm so happy. Habits, show me what you believe. Labbits, what are you doing here? Forget Shayna and go back. That's not like you. Are you disobeying my order? Labbits, are you disobeying my order? Choosing one over many. Shayna needs me. Labbits, well said. That's the renowned Knight of Serdio. Life is precious whether it's one or many. Help out with Shayna. I see. RPG games, stealth games like Metal Gear, Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil, God of War, the Telltale games, Diablo series, Mortal Kombat, a little bit of Street Fighter. Sounds pretty... Sounds broad. That's cool. I mean, I do like stealth games, but I don't think anything compares to Metal Gear for me, but that's because I love narrative. It's like, so, you know, Splinter Cell's good, obviously, and Hitman, Siphon Filter, but like the level of storytelling in Metal Gear, absolutely love it. Assassin's Creed, yeah. Kind of wish they had a more mainline storyline going back to it. I think that's one of the things I miss with Assassin's Creed. But I have heard like Odyssey, Origins were really good. Not the biggest fan of Resident Evil. I do love 2 and 4. I haven't played 4 Remake yet. I did like the original 2 and the Remake 2. And that's also because I like Leon and Ada. I have the collector's edition of Resident Evil 4 Remake, so can't wait to try that out. God of War. The new ones or the old ones, or both? Actually, I actually like the whole series, including the older ones. Telltale games I don't play a lot of. Diablo series I stopped after Diablo 2, I want to say, because of the whole game crashing issue. I've never gone back to like Diablo 3 or anything, even though they're on consoles. Mortal Kombat, good story for Mortal Kombat when it comes to fighting games. Not when I was a kid though, I actually preferred Killer Instinct, and I like the new Killer Instinct on Xbox too, but because I barely hop on my Xbox anymore, I don't really play a bit of it. Are you excited for Street Fighter 6? Rayman, not that I like Rayman series, but not a great fan, but love Okami. Movie director instead of a game director. I think that's what he was. That's what he wanted to be, though. That's actually what he wanted to be. Dart, advancing will bring truth as well as ordeals, and you still want to go? See. Okay, no matter what, I will go. Brave young people, what you see is all the truth. Never gaze away. Only total acceptance brings you to the way. Labbits, I ask you, who is the most important person for you to protect? His mother. It's human to care about parents. You are human before being a knight. Parents care for children and a child yearns for its parent. The bonding makes a human strong. Don't forget you have somebody waiting for you. Lastly, Rose, I ask you, what does life mean to you? Nothing but sacrifice, probably. Rose, I see the end to your agonizing journey. The young man there will awaken the old you and lead you to the future. Now, illuminate the dark road with my white-silver Dragoon spirit. The new Dragoons. Whoop. I'm 2 levels away from getting Dart's next edition. I'm pretty sure I'll be at Dragoon level 4 by then. Alright. An unlikely pair is the name of the trophy. That was beautiful. Take this with you as promised. As I promised, but I have one favor to ask. Crush dance, yeah. He has protected my peace from countless attempts by bandits. He stood up to you for me. Please save Drake. I don't have an entity, so I cannot draw on the power of the spirit. But I don't feel any power holding it like this. Hold it up with the spirit of the red-eyed dragon spirit. I don't think I'm getting her voice right. Crush dance. This is... Your red-eyed dragon draws the healing power of the white-silver dragoon spirit. Am I alive? Good. We can save her with this. Dart, gazing at the truth sometimes brings pain, but you will be able to overcome it. Farewell, Rose. I am looking forward to the date our roads of fate cross again. Surely. She has headed to the place where she belongs. Let's go. Shayna's waiting. Oh, absolutely. I mean, he gets his first for one, but if you have like, if you definitely had level him up in the forest and you have Burning Rush to use as soon as you get your Dragoon Spirit, yeah, he builds it so fast because he's getting 100 SP every time you complete his combo. Sherry, where did you go? Kind of feel bad for Drake here. Only one comparable would be Meryl, yeah. I feel like Hashel takes a while. I could be remembering or like thinking wrong, but I feel like Hashel takes a while to level up his. Maybe it's because he kills enemies too fast. I think so. And she doesn't learn a lot of moves either. Doesn't she only have like 5? Like conditions, I think. Oh, I gotta change his attack. I totally forgot. Yeah. Which makes sense. And then Congo only has like 3 additions. But he seems like the one that would... No. I was gonna say he seems like the one who would take the longest, but yeah, because... Depending on when you get his too. But at the same time, yeah, with only 3 additions, you master him pretty quickly. At least if you try to use him. My right leg's in a lot of pain right now. I should be making it to Kazaz tonight at least, so that works. Yeah, I don't need to use. Oh, I need to change this edition. That's what I'm doing. Gust of Wind Dance. I think that's how I said. Yeah. But I mean, between her and like early Shayna, it's better to have her because at least she has the Dragoon transformation, and on top of that, you can level up her Dragoon while she's available. And then once I get Shayna back, then I can start using like healing magic and stuff. Oh right, the Demon Stiletto. And that's about it. Honestly, playing longer than I expected to. I thought I was closer to Kazaz than I actually am. Because I'll definitely be doing some off-screen grinding when I get there. Yeah, it's true. And I've been playing Persona 3 Portable off-stream too. Ah, messed it up. You mean against FES? Yep. I mean, I agree, but it's fine. I'm playing the PS4, PS5 version. Finish Breath of the Wild tomorrow. Is that your estimate? You're gonna finish it tomorrow? Been editing for 2 hours now over it. Yeah. Blossom Storm, new magic. Alright, Dragoon Nova 2. Sometime this week for sure, huh? At least it'll be before Tears of the Kingdom release. You do Gust of Wind Dance so easily and it up every time. There's another one of the other moves messes with me, but I don't remember which one. It might be Flower Storm? Maybe? Is it Blossom Storm? Flower Storm? I know Blossom Storm is the magic, right? Actually, was that the one I just got? I can attack with her now. Okay, Flower Storm. I think Flower Storm I do have a little bit of trouble with, especially when they counter. Like, this gives you so much SP for only the 3rd edition. It's crazy. And I was just trying to remember Hasho's move that he always says differently than the actual name of the move. So I think it's Fairy of Sticks, but I think he says Flurry of Sticks. Is that right? Flurry of Sticks. Trips me up.
Burning rush.
Are you gonna be like that, huh? Fine, I can regain HP while we do this. The way you level Dragoon spirits made no sense in this game. Just doing attacks bonds you further to your Dragoon while you're not even in Dragoon form. Yeah. Whatever. SP. Well, I guess it bonds you to it just for the fact that you have the spirit, right? Maybe that's the reasoning behind it or the logic behind it.
Burning rush.
Should be good enough for Rose unless she gets attacked right now, which it looks like she is. Yeah.
Burning rush.
I don't try to question it too much. It's easy, so it's fine with me.
Burning rush.
No cough drop for me. Ah, come on. You again? Maybe go to the chiropractor on Tuesday this week. Holy crap. Oh, it's messing me up right now. Nice! On your backwards compatible PS3. One of the few people who own it. Actually, I had a few people who were asking about it too when I was streaming on Thursday about the backwards compatible PS3. Which model do you have? Do you have the A, B, or AC or AC or E? Or is it C or is it B? I think it's B. 20 gigs is B model, right? Okay, so you have the 60 gig then. Which is cool. The one with the actual chip in it. Nice. Yeah, those models I think normally go for like 250 to 300 now. Oh, come on.
Burning rush.
Oh, I remember I was just gonna ask you too. Do you all ever play like Silent Hill? Since you mentioned, Resident Evil earlier. Picked yours up at GameStop in 2015. Saw it randomly sitting in there for $80. Yep. Yeah, they weren't as sought after as they were. Like the pandemic really did a number on the price on that, and now it's just gone up so much because it's that generation right now of people looking to play those old games like the PS3 stuff. Can't wait for the Silent Hill 2 remake. Sweet. Yeah, I hope Bloober doesn't mess, or Bloober Studios doesn't mess up or mess too. What's the one I'm trying to say? Doesn't mess with the story too much. Because I'm sure they're gonna try to do some tweaks. I think we're going to, after Rohan, we go straight to Kazaz, right? But the thing is, I don't think I can grind as soon as I get to Kazaz. What a funny name, Bloober Studios. Yeah. Is it Bloober Studios or is it Bloober Team or something like that? Bloober. Bloober Team, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bloober. I feel like I remembered there was like something that I thought about. It's like, oh, maybe that's where they got the name, but I can't remember what that was. Oh no, it's not here. You know about coming back here early to get the gold Dragoon spirit, right? Down here? This door, I think. No. Nope, I'm just gonna be lost. You don't like Miranda? I have no problem against Miranda. I think she's a stronger character. I know some people who always complain about Shayna. Oh, okay. I think it was probably in the first screen. And I just totally missed it. I think it was in the first screen. Oh, that's not the way. Yeah, I know people that really don't like Shayna. Well, more as a character. I know some people who don't like her for the fact that she doesn't get additions. That's not a big as a deal for me because she actually at least gets consistent, or no, both of them get consistent SP. There are not that many good merchants around anymore. Be careful when you shop. Okay. Where the heck was the place at? Oh, it's not it. That's the arena. shoot. Actually, are we going to the arena first? This is the item shop, I think. It's the blue arrow. Yeah. Where in the F am I supposed to go again? Oh, crap. Ah. Right. No. Ah. I'm basically just going to every room at this point. Oh. 200 G's. And that's the healing place, but maybe there's another room. Yeah. I went to the right spot the first time, I just didn't run far enough. Did you find a Dragoon plant? Well, with this. We should be able to save her. What? What? I thought the power cannot be released without the help from another spirit, right? You know what? I bet you... Yeah, you probably could. Shayna. But how many of the helmets could you afford is a different question. There's so little gold. Darn, what is this? It's the Dragoon spirit of the White Silver Dragon. I wonder if Shayna is a Dragoon. Otherwise, this much power wouldn't be drawn. Shayna purged the poison with her own power. It's true, her spirit is back in her body. This poison is completely gone. Dart, what is going on? All the shinies. I don't know if it's a coincidence or fate, but you were saved with this power, Shayna. Do you feel it? This is the power of the dragon. The Dragoon. Yes, I feel it. The warm power of a dragon. Not only powerful, but very tender. Excuse me, it's too bright and I cannot see. Can you do something about it? Oh, sorry. I was just it's all the shinies, man. Can you get up? See, I'm fine now. Doctor, about this, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't understand even if you told me. It's enough just seeing a miracle with my own eyes. It was worth waiting this long. In addition, I don't need any reward. Just end the war quickly, that'll do. There is no more threat of the dragon. The rest will be taken care of by King Albert soon. I see. You defeated that dragon. You may win your way through to a pretty good level. Wait, not only that, yeah, we're doing the arena. You might be able to win the title of the strongest in the world. The strongest in the world? Are you interested? Huh? Well, you are just in time for the hero competition. Daredevils are coming from all over the world to compete with their brawn and brains. If you are interested, go to the arena. I am looking forward to seeing the match. I think I can fit in the arena, I guess. Shoot. Can I? Should I? This is already a lot longer than I thought it would be. Or at least that I remembered it would be. Do I need to heal? Nope, just save. Yeah, what the, yeah. That's exactly what he was thinking. Let's see. So I know not just going to Kazas will actually open up the grinding of 00 parts, because I think I have to could progress a little bit from, I think so. I can't for sure remember. You know what? I might just end it here. I think I'll end it here and then continue on next stream, and then the next stream might be a really short stream. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's do that. I'll find someone out to raid to. I do have to work in the morning too, so let's see who we can raid out to. I don't have that many people streaming right now. At least not people I know. Tarmarda is streaming Grand Theft Auto 5. I think he RPs. Yeah, I think he RPs, so we'll raid out to Tarmarda for support, because I really, yeah. Of course, thank you for stopping by and modding, Michaela. It's nice to meet you also. Nice to talk to you, Gary. Hope you come back again. I think, yeah. Alright, so let's see here. Raid Tarmarda. Yeah, I will give him a good hi, you know, say a few things before I have to take off myself because I go to sleep. I think he streams, I forget what country he streams out of. I want to say maybe Australia or New Zealand or something. I'm not 100% sure, I forget. But yeah, so I'm going to go over and say hi to Tamarta, and then I think my next stream might be either Tuesday or Wednesday. But it'll probably be a shorter stream, because once I get to Kazas, once I can start grinding 00 parts, I will show how to do it. Oh yeah, I think I was going to tell you about it too, Gary. Sorry, we didn't make it there tonight. But I'll basically show how to do it, maybe a few fights. And then after that, I'm going to grind the rest of it off stream, because it's going to take a while to make a lot of money. Although it's faster than trying to fight regular enemies. But yeah, other than that, thank you everyone for stopping by and hanging out. And have a good night until next time.